My name is Julie and I'm a data scientist. I'm also a single parent. My beautiful daughter Grace is 8 years old and together we live in San Jose, California. A few years ago, I went through a very painful and messy divorce that was incredibly exhausting, quite contentious, and just emotionally distressing to say the least. Along with the usual financial decisions that need to be made, there was the complication of custody rights at the center of it all. And this wasn't your typical custody battle. You see, my daughter is autistic. So this was not only about who had Grace on what days of the week or which holidays she would spend with which parent, but also about her ongoing care, the special needs that she requires, and who is ultimately the best person to manage all of that, because it's really not that easy. While her range on the autism spectrum is not as severe as some, she still has daily routines that must be adhered to, and she requires special developmental education every day. It's a critical time for her development, and she needs constant attention, either by myself or by one of her therapists. After months of legal battles and having our lives turned upside down, I was finally formally given primary custody and care of Grace. Since my ex-husband travels as much as he does for his work, and I can work from my home office and can manage her schedule more easily, it simply made more sense. Once the divorce was final, I knew I had to do everything possible to protect my child. I couldn't let another legal complication or some loophole potentially risk her well-being going forward. I really needed to ensure I had peace of mind when it came to protecting her now, and if for some reason, God forbid, anything ever happened to me, she would be okay. As a parent, she is my main priority. A couple of months later, my attorney reached out to me and asked if I'd heard of Synergistic Life Services. She said that an old colleague of hers recently worked with them on a situation similar to mine, and that it would be smart to sit down with one of their advisors who specializes in special needs planning and create a plan that would protect and care for Grace going forward. I have to say that phone call might be one of the smartest things I've ever done. A few days later, I was meeting with Stan and already felt this enormous weight just start to lift. Stan helped me figure out all of the things I needed to consider, conversations I needed to have, decisions that had to be made, provisions I needed to have in place, and more. But he walked me through it so I didn't feel so overwhelmed by it all. That made this much easier. You can't imagine what a comfort it was to know that I had a solid plan in place. My bases were fully covered, and that should anything ever happen to me, Grace would be taken care of in a way that was best for her. No one could dispute the plan. It was rock solid, and it had her best interest at heart. Along with all the financial aspects and ensuring that I had the right assets in place to cover her care, which we had done a pretty fair job of securing when we went through the divorce proceedings, Stan helped me select and appoint a legal guardian that could continue taking care of her the way I do. This was critical, first and foremost. While I still want her to have time with her father, he really won't be able to devote the time and attention necessary to take care of her full time, so other arrangements needed to be explored. I'm confident in how this was thought through, and that the crucial requirements are included. It covers everything necessary should someone try to contest my will or my choice of guardian. Additionally, Stan helped me understand the importance of creating a letter of intent and documenting all of the needs and care Grace requires. This covers everything from her strict daily routine, how much time has to be dedicated to therapy, which schools are best for her as she progresses, how I get her to go to bed, how to best acclimate her to new environments, all the way down to her favorite colors, what she likes to eat and drink, toys she likes to play with, and just her full lifestyle really, what works and what doesn't. Of course, it will change and evolve over time, and I can just keep updating it as Grace grows and progresses. It's like a guidebook to making Grace function at her best. If only we all had one of those. Now here we are a year later, and our lives have adjusted to all of the changes. We have a really nice rhythm down when it comes to Grace and her care and her continued progress. I can focus on her development and worry less about her future. While I hope I'll be there for her until I'm old and gray, I feel a sense of comfort and relief knowing that I've done everything I can to ensure she'll be okay if anything were to happen to me. And that means everything to me. I am so grateful to Synergistic Life Services, and specifically Stan. Knowing you have someone who understands that added anxiety you feel when you have a special needs child and can partner with you to make smart decisions and do what's best for your child is incredible. Stan has become part of my team of people who are essential to raising my daughter, and I thank them for that support.